Welcome, guys. I am back. Long time no see, and I'm so excited to do this sort of, I would say, a little bit of impromptu live. And just before Christmas, probably maybe my last one, probably do one next week. We'll see. But yeah, welcome in, guys. Today I'm going to be talking about your challenges are happening for you, not to you. And I say this because many of you know my story. For those of you who don't, I've been through a lot of things. I think everybody does. Life is a struggle, right? But amongst those struggles came beautiful things. So, for example, my story, for those of you who don't know, I came from a really, really challenging childhood full of lots of abuse, neglect, and was a very suicidal, depressed individual. Never thought anything of my life could become anything. I didn't think I had any hope, any future, nothing. During most of my early 20s and late teens, I was pretty much hopeless, the hopeless of hopeless. And through meeting a great mentor, somebody who breathed life into me and showed me that there was possibilities and there was things I could do, be, and have, and helped me even map that out. What does that look like? And I always had a vision of wanting to be in finance. And years later, I became a very well known investment consultant, private banker, and done many things in the financial world that I can only imagine, right? So I say all this because a lot of our obstacles and a lot of our experiences are not there to harm us, but to develop us. And for those of you who are people who are faith or believe in a higher power or higher deity, or whatever you believe in, as long as it's something outside of yourself, you know that you are a soul here having a human experience. And part of our journey of life is to develop our soul. So, in case I haven't introduced, I'm Victoria Walker and I am a soulful life and business coach. And I help people really make breakthroughs, really understand their purpose, their divine purpose, really get through some of the challenges that are actually, as I said, they're not designed to harm you, but they're designed to grow you. And I like to use this analogy a lot when it comes to how our creator, as we are creations, uses situations, people, circumstances to strengthen us, to strengthen our virtues and our characteristics. So there was a little boy, and he had found this butterfly in its cocoon. And the butterfly was like struggling to get out of this cocoon, and it's really struggling to get out of its shell. So there was a little opening, and this butterfly is trying to like get out and fly and really break through, but it's struggling. It's really, 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 really struggling. So the little boy is like, he feels like he wants to help this butterfly like fly. And so what he does is he gets a pair of scissors and he starts cutting through to allow the butterfly to get out. Doesn't want to see it struggle, doesn't want to see this butterfly go through this pain or struggle. But in doing that, what happens is as soon as he lets the butterfly out, it's all crumpled up. And unfortunately, the butterfly doesn't have the strength in its wings to fly. So the butterfly ends up dying. So the struggle for a butterfly when it's in a cocoon is, whilst it's trying to get out and it's trying to break through and it's trying to break free, what happens is it's strengthening its wings. It's creating all the supply that it needs to fly, right? And I use this analogy. Nature is just a beautiful thing where we can often see what happens in nature often happens in our lives. And why I share this is because if you're watching this, right, and you're going through a very difficult time, like if something's really kind of holding you back and you're struggling. One way to look at it is to be very much like, feel like a victim, feel like life is happening against you and things are bad and it's never going to work out and it's not going your way and it's against you. Or you can take another approach, which is what I encourage and teach my students and my clients to look at, which is seeing that this obstacle is actually your way of growth. Whatever your biggest challenge is, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your career, whether it's just in your life in itself, that experience is a way of teaching you and pushing you towards a direction that you should be taking. It's pushing you and teaching you to make either an internal shift. So maybe you need to change. You need to change perspectives. You need to cultivate some new virtues. Maybe you need to be more patient. Maybe you need to learn how to just take time. Maybe you need to take a new direction, a new way. There is there's a story about a gentleman, and well, there was a road, and the villagers needed to pass this road every day to get to the other side, like to go on their journey and to get to where they needed to go. But one day there was a big boulder on this road. And so one man goes up to the boulder and he kind of sees this obstacle and he decides that he's just going to turn back. He's going to go on his way. Second person comes up to this road and sees this big rock blocking his way forward. And again, he decides that, do you know what? I'm not going to get past this obstacle. I'm not going to get past this boulder. So I'm just going to quit and go back. And then a third man comes and he sees this boulder and he decides that actually, I'm going to figure out how to move this obstacle. I'm going to figure out how to get past this. And so he thinks of an idea and he gets this long plank and he basically is able to like move the boulder out the way. And underneath it was like this note with basically a lesson, not a lesson, a place for him to go and pick up loads of gold. And the letter was saying, because you've taken the initiative to move the obstacle, this is your reward. And he basically makes all this money, gets all this gold. So I say this and use this analogy because often what's in front of us appears to be an obstacle. It appears to be a struggle. It appears to be something that is blocking our way. But the truth of the matter is, it's actually part of your journey. And by facing it head on, by thinking differently, seeking support, seeking alternatives, and also not letting the fear, the victimhood, especially the fear, because most of the time why you're struggling is because you're afraid. You're afraid that what you want is not going to happen. You're afraid that if it doesn't happen, something else is going to happen. And often we have to learn that fear is probably one of our greatest enemies, in the sense that it restricts you. It restricts you to thinking just about the problem rather than the solution. One of my clients came to me this month and she was very scared. She's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, last couple of months, my business hasn't been going well. And, I'm really panicked. And I immediately knew that she was ready to grow. She was ready to go into a new phase. And I said, okay. So we sat down and we kind of looked at, okay, what's happening? Okay, this is happening. What would you like to happen? So, she had a goal. She was like, I need to make £5,000 this month. Okay, right. So how can we do that? And we kind of brainstormed. And then we decided, okay, this is what you're really good at. So you're going to find 10 people and you're going to offer them, you're going to go to them with a problem you can solve, and it's going to cost £500 for you to solve that problem. And I want you to go out, write your list of people you're going to speak to, go and speak to them and go and close them. And within 14 days, she managed to basically, I think she's on about £2,500, if I remember correctly. She's managed to meet half of her target. Now, her obstacle could have been just sitting there and saying, there's no hope, there's no possibility, there's no opportunity, there's no nothing. Or she could have took action, reached out to somebody, created some initiative, and now she's actually found a product and an offering that actually sells better than her last one. So she has a whole new business, a whole new business model, a whole new way of doing business, and something that she can leverage. Now, had she not gone through her struggle, had she not gone through her pain, had she not been in that situation, she might have not discovered her newfound gift and her newfound offering and her newfound business opportunity. She probably wouldn't have. She might have stayed doing something that might have not been as lucrative and productive as what she found. But because she went through such a struggle, she had no choice but to change direction and go past it. She didn't change her goal. She didn't say, okay, I'm going to quit business or I'm going to stop. She just changed how she got there. And I say this because your challenge is are happening for you, not to you. They're never happening to you, they're happening for you. So this is a very short live, and I encourage you and I invite you, if you're somebody that is going through a challenge and you are racking your head thinking, how am I going to overcome this? How am I going to get through this? How am I going to break through this? Then I invite you to book a breakthrough call. It's 30 minutes, free, no obligation, where I'm going to show you 3 mindset shifts you can make to immediately see your situation in a completely different way and move you from where you are to exactly where you'd like to be. So if that's you, if you're watching this live on the replay, do feel free to send a request. I've dropped the link in the I've dropped the link in the chat. I've dropped the link in the comments or in the description. And if I don't see y'all before Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas and also Happy New Year. Take care.